I've come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Welcome to another edition of The Outsiders. I guess I'm going to name this the Attempted Assassination Edition of The Outsiders. I'm here with my superstar co-host, Marvin Doc Cheatham. Doc, tell the people hello.
Well, I want to say good afternoon, good evening, hot fun in the summertime.
Yeah, it's hot, all right. I mean, it's, as they say in Germany, it's heiß. It's ice. Oh my goodness. We were in Vegas. My wife and I spent a week in Vegas. This is a belated later birthday celebration because her job wouldn't let her off for the month. They kept the employees locked into their job. They couldn't take a vacation, Doc, for a whole month. So my June 24th birthday, we just celebrated in Las Vegas this past week, and as we're getting ready to leave, here comes Joe Biden to Las Vegas. And what happens to Joe Biden when he gets in Las Vegas? He's there the day right before we leave. He catches COVID-19. Well, unusual. And sidebar, the last time I was in Vegas about 6 years ago, after I had a shoulder operation, I was there celebrating my 53rd birthday, and who did I literally just miss at the Grand View Resort? Donald Trump. I literally get there, Doc, and they're like, you know, you just missed the president. I said, excuse me? He literally just left 5 minutes ago. So I don't know what it is with Vegas and the presidents, but every time I go, they're either coming or leaving. So we're gonna get into the assassination attempt, and we're going to cover it only as the outsiders can cover this. And I've been watching the pundits and people's opinions and the news and the mainstream, the internet, X, Twitter, which is the same, and social media, people's opinions. People have been sending me things. People have been texting me things. I mean, on and on. While this is going on, I'm in Vegas.
Folks have been missing your show, let me tell you. They've been missing it, so I'm glad you're back, because I'm missing myself.
Well, I've been missing it as well, and I'm sitting in Las Vegas at the resort. My wife and I were in a very nice resort, very 118 degrees. Oh, woo!
118.
So I did a lot of poolside and the pool and the swimming and all of that, and we enjoyed ourselves in the heat. And yeah, we're going to get to the Ravens and Orioles, of course, and I'm going to have a segue into what's going on with the assassination. But what's going on is crazy land, cuckoo, it's cuckoo crazy land with assassination. I'm sitting in my Las Vegas. I can't do anything. I can't get on the air. I can't let these people know. And I'm going to say this. My producer keeps putting up sports. I'm going to say this. Look, okay, I told my wife, Doc, we're going to really deep dive, and then we're going to interview Linda Felder, our special guest, Linda Felder of the House of Etiquette, longtime friend of mine, and we're going to interview her. She's been doing some very, very good stuff, really good stuff in Baltimore for about 25 plus years. But I told my wife after I saw what happened, I said, there were two shooters. Said it just like that. Because my dad was an Army Ranger, and I have been known to go out on the range and shoot pretty good too. And I said, you know what? Those are two shooters. The cadence with the shots were not of one gun. The sound, and we'll get into it later to see if I was correct or not. But let's get into what's going on with the Orioles leading the American League East by one game Doc, so far, I mean, right after the All-Star game, Gunnar Henderson didn't win the home run derby, but how do you think the Orioles are doing so far?
I think they are doing extremely well. One thing I want to bring up to your audience, I told y'all that Holiday will be sent back to AAA. Y'all all said no, but Holiday definitely got sent back. I think you folks that love baseball need to listen to me a little bit more. We do not win the second phase of the playoffs if we don't get another pitcher before trading deadline. We do not have enough pitching staff. We got guys that like to hit home runs. They don't know how to hit the ball to make runners go around. They want to keep trying hitting home runs. We got to be able to hit the ball, move runners around. We got to be able to hit the cutoff man when we're throwing the ball into the infield. And we got to learn how to bunt. Everybody trying to hit a home run. Everybody can't hit a home run.
Well, advancing the runners, that's baseball 101. And Doc, I concur. I agree with you wholeheartedly. We need to beef up the pitching staff. I know they're going after this kid from Detroit, the left-hander. He looks good. I think he would be a good addition.
That's what I'm asking for. I'm prejudiced. I asked for a left-handed pitcher.
He looks good. Hopefully they get him because they do need that. We are in first place in American League East by one game. I want to touch on, while I was in Vegas, right after we saw the Eddie Griffin stand up. My wife and I went to see Eddie Griffin. Wow, did he tear Biden another one in his show? Woo! Anyway, I went to see Eddie Griffin. After that, we see the brawl. The Yankees and the Orioles just went at it in a bench clearing brawl. Doc, what in the world? I know they tried. They almost. What did they? Heston Jested got hit in the head by Clay Holmes, the pitcher. What did you think of that brawl? I mean, I kind of like to see the Orioles. I like to see them get like, boom, let's get into this. Yankees.
To me, it was not a direct attempt from my vantage point to hit him in the head.
I don't
but
know.
that's one of the most critical, if not the most critical, places to be hit.
Mm-hmm.
When you're throwing the ball 90 to 100 miles an hour, that's a very critical place to hit. And it does happen. And I think that the pitcher did not mean to hit our player, but I do feel that management and the coaches in the Yankees caused the brawl. They sat there and intimidated and talked negatively about our pitcher and the fact that our manager got insulted, and I think he did what needed to be done. He fought for his players, and I think he was correct in doing such. But I really think the Yankees showed that they are a Bush League baseball league. But the thing I'm telling folks, the number 3 and the number 4 hitters of the Yankees, we should not pitch to them. Did y'all hear me? Soto and the number 1 home run hitter again this year, we should not be throwing to them. We need to walk them. We can't stop them from hitting.
Well, I mean, I'll say this about the fight. Brandon Hyde, the Orioles manager, I saw the pitch. I know, Doc, you pitched. I was a pitcher, and it did look like he was headhunting. I'm just saying. It looks like he was headhunting. And Brandon Hyde, rightfully so, got upset and did what he had to do. He reminded me of Earl Weaver back in the day, because Earl didn't take any gumph from anybody. So, I mean, we did what we did, but we're still ahead. The bottom line is to play baseball. Now, let's...
But no, I don't think you have exactly right. I watched that game. Mm-hmm. What caused the fight was the antagonism coming from the bench, from the Yankees. That's what started the fight, not the hit. When he got hit in the head, that wasn't the first thing by our manager. Our manager got pissed off because of the nasty things that the Yankees were saying. That's what caused the fight. And I'm saying that's what you call Bush League. You know, your player gets hit seriously, and then you're gonna make negative statements about it. Listen to Hyde's interview. Hyde got upset because of how the players and the coaches responded to his player getting hit.
I
It wasn't
understand.
the hit. It was the attitude of the coaches of the Yankees.
I got the attitude, but if he hadn't been hit at all, it never would have happened. He was headhunting. And then to make it worse, I agree with you. Yeah. Then to make it worse, they started mouthing off and had that Bush League, attitude. And basically, they're just trying to intimidate, trying to be a bunch of wise asses. And then it got upset. So, we're basically saying the same thing, Doc. But let's do this. Okay, let's get into the Ravens. And then I'm going to segue into this assassination attempt. Because I have some news. Wow. The training camp. Our first preseason game is against those Eagles. Let's see how we do. Of course, Lamar's not going to probably play at all, but, the O-line. That's what I'm going to be watching preseason, folks. I don't know about Doc, but Sean Sims, yours truly, I'm going to be focused, laser focused on the offensive line because I believe right now the Ravens football team, Baltimore Ravens, I got the cap on, got my purple on. I believe their offensive line is the Achilles heel. What do you think, Doc?
Well, I look at it this way. We picked up one of the number one running backs in football. If he is able to run the ball successfully, as a result of what you said, the offensive line opening the holes for him and then opening the holes when our quarterback needs to throw the ball, I'm saying very clearly, if our running back and our quarterback both have a successful year, look out for a Super Bowl because we're on the way.
I agree. It's going to be a tough road, but they have the ingredients. But that offensive line is what I'm going to be looking at. Now I'm going to segue. Lamar Jackson. He's in this audio I'm getting ready to play regarding what happened with Trump and the assassination. The NFL had something to say about this to players. So let me go ahead and cue it up.
Here is every NFL player's reaction to the attempted assassination on former President Donald J. Trump, starting with Tariq Woolen. Cornerback of the Seattle Seahawks posted on July 13th, Trump next president. Confirmed. Tyreek Hill, wide receiver of the Miami Dolphins, posted, waiting on someone to post a Simpson clip saying they predicted it. On Instagram, after the attempted assassination, Nick Bosa, defensive end for the San Francisco 49ers, posted a picture of him and Trump in black and white at a UFC fight. Marlon Humphrey, cornerback of the Baltimore Ravens, posted, "Oh my God, they shot Trump." An hour after that post, he posted, "Trump took a bullet for America." 2 hours later, Marlon Humphrey posted, "Thank God." Marlon Humphrey has also claimed that his teammate, quarterback Lamar Jackson, is a fan of Trump.
Lamar's a Trump fan.
Lamar's a Trump fan.
4 years ago, in April 2020, Donald Trump retweeted Lamar Jackson, who posted a video of his teammate reacting to the quarterback getting drafted in 2018. Lamar Jackson then retweeted Donald Trump saying, "Trust Trump." Trust is a slogan by Lamar Jackson that means trust. So he was saying trust Trump. The next year, in 2021, Lamar Jackson tweeted out to Trump saying, "Hey Trump, my friend Kodak Black deserves to be commuted. The system punished him way too hard for a paperwork crime. #free Kodak." The rapper Kodak Black and Lamar Jackson have grown up together, and Lamar Jackson's influence on Trump helped commute his sentence.
Well, it looks like Kodak Black had a commuted sentence from Trump because of Lamar Jackson, I guess, buddying up to Donald Trump. Marlon Humphreys as well. I know from friends of mine who have told me, Sean, the NFL loves Donald Trump. You got some guys who don't, but they told me straight up. They love him. They think he's a cowboy. They love him. His attitude. There are other things they told me I'm not going to get into.
But whoever those folks are, trust me, I challenge their knowledge of the Baltimore Ravens. Whoever made that statement about the NFL, they didn't say East Coast, West Coast, AFL, NFL. They said football. I'm saying whoever made them ignorant ass statements, I challenge their knowledge of the Baltimore Ravens and what their attitudes are as players.
Well,
I challenge it.
well, it looks like Lamar is a Trump fan, and so is Marlon.
No, it doesn't look like. It looks like the reporting that you received. Get that. I'll ask his relative who has a church right where my parking playground is, and I'll ask her. She's at every football game in a what they call that, the high ranked place that costs a lot of money. She's at every Ravens football game. I'll ask her before I ask some ignorant ass so-called NFL supporters. You don't know nothing about no Ravens, whoever you are talking about us. You don't know the Ravens.
Well, that was right off of his Twitter account, from Lamar's account. So, I mean, we'll see. You know what? I should get in touch with him and find out myself. You know, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to, note to self, get in touch with Lamar, because I want to find out what's going on with that.
Whoever made those ignorant statements about the NFL, they got to be the lying next possible president, and I'm talking about Trump. They lying as much as Trump lies, and you can't keep up with Trump's lies.
Okay, let's move on to the Trump haters. That's a good segue, because there are things that are being said out here and put out, and, you know, me, I just like to check and make sure everything is, you know, I want to find out. So it's so much information. First of all, I got to really explain. There's a lot of information out there on the internet now as far as people's opinions, experts' opinions, people who aren't experts, all kinds of people who were there when the shooting took place, etc., etc. There's a lot going on, and there are people who, you know, they're not fans of Trump. I just want everybody to hear this is the other side of what's going on with people.
And of course, they're Chief Loon.
That are not fans of Trump.
No, I'm saying there were people there who were saying things. Then, there also were people who are not fans of Trump, who I'm going to play what they think of the whole issue. So I'm getting ready to cue that up now.
And you talking about it wasn't an assassination attempt. It was a presidential assassination attempt because someone was assassinated.
Well, Trump was grazed on the ear. Someone was killed. 2 were critically injured.
There was a presidential assassination attempt. But was someone assassinated? The answer is yes.
Who was assassinated?
The man who works for the post office, the man that got killed, the one that got killed, and his relative came on the Republican convention and said that the president and the vice president didn't make any comments about it.
You mean a former fire chief?
Firefighter, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he did get.
Someone did get assassinated.
Yeah.
It was a presidential assassination attempt. But someone did get killed.
Somebody got killed. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go ahead and play the Trump haters.
Reid, who has compared Joe Biden being diagnosed with COVID to, wait for it, Trump surviving an assassination attempt.
Donald Trump is an elderly man who, for whatever reason, was given.
Stop. This is Joy Reid, MSNBC.
9 seconds to take a iconic photo op during an active shooter situation. Weird situation. We'll figure that out one day. But his survival of that and bouncing right back and going right to his convention is being conveyed in the media world as a sign of strength. This current president of the United States is 81 years old and has COVID. Should he be fine in a couple of days? Doesn't that convey exactly the same thing? That he's strong enough, older than Trump, to have gotten something that used to really be fatal to people his age. So if he does fine out of it and comes back and is able to do rallies, isn't that exactly the same?
Yes, you really did hear that right. A cold, of course, is absolutely the same as getting shot. And that was the moment Joy Reid sunk so low into the realms of insanity. Poopy Goldberg, as she's now known.
I have poopy days all the time to make sure you get out there and vote. And no, you can't lay by the wayside and say, I'm going to let somebody else do it. Because this requires you recognizing that we're all in danger here.
Trump paid to be shot.
Wait, stop. Wait, stop. I was going to let that play all the way through. I said, no, I got to stop. What is this crazy broad? What is she talking about? We're all in danger here because Trump didn't die. Because Trump wasn't killed by the sniper. That we are all in danger now? Poopy days? What in the world is going on with this? Let me go on.
I'm going to say it first before any of my other friends say it. I bet Trump did this. I bet you he paid somebody to do this. I mean, think about it. What a better way to garner sympathy from people that are on the fence than having somebody shoot at you. He probably hit his ear by accident. Ended up telling on himself on Truth Social, so yeah.
Gotcha. Yes, shoot me. Make sure though you only just clip my ear, just a little bit. Shouldn't be too hard, just a quick shot up there. And this is the moment his soul leaves his body as he details how Trump got blood on his face.
Honestly, my best guess was that it was ketchup from that McDonald's package that he probably had stuffed underneath the podium. He was down there and just figured he'd take a quick bite of his Big Mac.
What an idiot. Okay, let me get this straight. Trump planned it, had somebody shoot him, because they'd have to be really good to just graze his ear. Then he dropped down, opened up a ketchup pack, and put it on his ear. Now, this isn't the only time I heard this. I saw this. People were texting this. People had this on Facebook, the internet, social media, where they were saying, yeah, he had a ketchup pack, and he used that. As far as the legitimacy of the actual event, the shooting taking place, Doc, do you believe that this was fake or that there was an actual shooter?
I'm not going to lower myself to get in a conversation that not dealing with what happened at that event. What happened at the event, a Republican came and shot the president and killed another person. Why are we saying, why are we avoiding the truth? If that was a Democrat who did the shooting, that'd be the major talk. We're talking about these crazy people that doing news reports. It got nothing to do with facts. What the fact is that a white man shot the president, and nobody's talking about what is his background, what is his mother and father's background, why did he do what they did. We're talking about some nonsense that got nothing to do with facts. The fact is, a white man that had supporters in his family that loved Trump, he shot and killed one person trying to get Trump. Why are we talking about this dumb stuff?
Well, let's go on to somebody who's an expert. Let's go to Dan Bongino, who's a former Secret Service officer, and he's going to...
No, it doesn't make anyone an expert because they were former. That's why the girl that's in charge of the Secret Service is going to lose her job. She's not an expert.
Well, I'm gonna go and play this. It's Dan Bongino, a few other people, and the lady you're talking about, Cheeto, whatever her name is, an interview, and hear exactly what he and what she, the head of the Secret Service, let's hear what she had to say to describe her job performance. Let me go ahead and cue that up.
You're staying with us even though you didn't have lunch yet. Yeah. Really quickly, so we just want to get your take on Saturday. We know you have a very unique perspective on this, yes, given your own experience in the Secret Service. What went wrong there, and are we missing something?
There's so many things that went wrong that we have to triage this into a few simple questions, or honestly we could be here all day. Number one, they spotted this guy acting suspiciously, making furtive movements and things like that 26 minutes before the shots rang out. So let's lowball it. Assume that's 20 minutes before Trump starts making President Trump his way onto the stage. Why was President Trump allowed on the stage? Why was he allowed to walk on stage? I mean, you don't need to be a former Secret Service agent like me to say, wait, so you knew there was a threat there for 26 minutes? And you still let him walk on stage anyway? Threat there for 26 minutes? And you still let him walk on stage anyway and get shot? You couldn't wait 5-10 minutes? We have a holding room at every single site. The holding room, you know why it's called the holding room? This is very scientific. Because we hold you there if something goes bad. If I was even on stage. The second question. The failed Secret Service Director, Kim Cheatham, who has been an abomination for this agency right now, just put out today, I was just talking to Mike Davis, I think you saw, is one of the great commentators, love Mike, and Mike's asking some of the same questions you are, because no one can fathom the stupidity here. Kim Cheatham put out a statement that we didn't have a counter-sniper team on that roof because of the slope of the roof. Well, the shooter didn't seem to have any problem with the slope of the roof. Even accepting that the idiocracy of that story, how stupid it is.
Stupid.
Why then did you allow him a clean line of sight?
Who is most responsible for this happening?
What I would say is the Secret Service is responsible for the protection of the former president.
So the buck stops with you?
The buck stops with me. I am the director of the Secret Service. It was unacceptable, and it's something that shouldn't happen again.
The President and Homeland Security Secretary said today they had 100% confidence in you, but there are some members of Congress calling on you to resign.
I appreciate the Secretary's comments, and we're going to continue to be transparent and communicate with people.
Right.
And you plan to stay on, absolutely.
I do plan to stay on.
Unbelievable.
Well, Agent Snowflake, also known as the Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheatham, went on the ABC to explain it was all a matter of workplace health and safety.
Should that roof have been secure, period?
That building in particular has a sloped roof at its highest point. And so, there's a safety factor that would be considered there, that we wouldn't want to put somebody up on a sloped roof. So, the decision was made to secure the building from inside.
You have got to be kidding me. They couldn't put agents on the roof because it was sloped. My driveway has a bigger slope than
Fire her!
Snipers behind Donald Trump while he's speaking. That looks to me, Caleb,
Very slowly. That's got to be it's a 5-degree slope right there.
Call that charge.
I'm surprised.
Oh my goodness.
To see if they challenge what I challenge. I challenge what happened on Monday morning on the T.J. Smith show before 10:30 Monday morning, the first radio show on WBAL after the shooting, after the 6 o'clock show. I challenged and said it was a failure, a total failure of Secret Service, and whoever the head of the Secret Service is, they need to be fired. Nothing short of that. And I challenge anyone that's listening to this now. What did you do or say on Monday morning on talk shows? Because I challenge anyone that said that they called before I did. I called at 10:30 Monday morning and said this woman needed to be fired because there's no reason why the president got wounded and we saw him after he got shot. He should have been taken off the stage immediately. We should never been able to see him again. And to let the president get up, at least 3 or 4 people need to be fired in the Secret Service, starting with the director. It was a total failure of the Secret Service, and all of those in charge need to be removed.
Doc, I agree 100%. This woman needs to be fired. You are correct in everything you just said.
In the beginning on Monday, she started lying until they started challenging.
Of course.
Well, y'all did know that somebody was on the roof.
Of course they did. They knew someone was on the roof. That line of fire was sitting out there, and they didn't have anyone on that roof where they should have been, and they didn't. She should be fired. She is a disgrace. She's an embarrassment. Okay, she looked a hot mess on that interview with Pierre Trudeau.
And if they didn't have enough man or woman power, that's what you have the damn helicopters for. It was a total failure. If they didn't have enough man or woman power to do the coverage, they needed to know that the area was so large that you couldn't surveil it just by manpower. You needed to use some stuff in the air.
Drones.
And I think every idea that someone has about how you protect the president, they failed in doing it. And I don't care whether you're Democrat, Republican, black or white. You're supposed to protect your president. And this whole group, they totally failed to protect the president.
I agree, Doc, and I'm going to get to this one other clip I have to play because this is breaking news. This is breaking. This is new. So I'm going to let this rip, and then we're going to get in touch with Linda Felder, House of Etiquette, and speak with her. And then we're going to go over this tunnel business. going on in Baltimore City. So let me go ahead and cue that up. Here we go. Let it rip.
It's really hard to process it. You know, I guess if you have on your camera to see the exact minute, you can tell. But when he got up,
now this is one of the attendees at the rally, and she's speaking about what happened and what she saw.
Did not look. What I've heard coming out here is now they feel that there was two shooters on both sides. So they got the one on the tower on this side, but the one on the right side they never got. So that's why they wanted us to leave immediately, because they thought there's still a shooter out there somewhere. So there could be in these woods around Butler. And I feel sad for our country. I feel sad for everybody, you know. I mean, yeah. If you don't like the guy, don't vote for him. Don't kill him. We love the guy. We're going to vote for him. You know, I mean, what is up with his violence? I mean, it's just terrible. I just wish that people that I'm glad that guy's no longer with us anymore in that tower. And I hope they get the other one too.
Is major news with the Trump attempted assassination. There is a second shooter. I thought I heard something about a second shooter a few days ago, but it really has come out on X that there's proof that there was a second shooter. Get into it. So there's information floating around on X that there was a second shooter. You know, I'm getting this information from John Cullen. This came about yesterday. Evidence of second shooter ballistic analysis indicates presence of a second shooter. Two bystanders are shot with the same round, and the first shot hits two bystanders in the railing. So if you look at this yellow line, it's showing it right here that it's shot at POTUS, but it hits the hydraulic line. And the first shot hits two bystanders and the railing. Wow. And I just want to point out that Kim Cheatham, the director of Secret Service that failed miserably at her job, was hired by, information that I got is that she was hired by Jill Biden.
Oh boy.
Yes, FLOTUS. She was hired by Joe Biden.
That's interesting.
What I have, and you guys, I can't verify all of this information, but this is what is out here right now. Here someone is saying, no way in hell he carried a rifle and a ladder down the street to that building with cops all over the place. Ladder and gun was planted at building prior to arrival. Inside job and help was given. Trump better hire some retired special forces. SEALs, Rangers will protect him better than Secret Service.
Yeah, there's something going on here. I called that when I saw the video. I'm sitting in my hotel in Las Vegas. I saw the video a couple of times. I turned to my wife. I said, there are two shooters. I said it just like that. My dad was an Army Ranger. I was trained. I've been on a range. I'm used to hearing gunfire. I said, there were two shooters. And she goes, well, we'll see. I said, yeah, we'll see. I know what I'm talking about. There's two shooters. And the angles, these other people got shot. And it turns out, you can go on X, you can go on YouTube, you can look all over the place. And I've seen a video of the two gentlemen that got shot. Saw the video, saw the hydraulic line get shot, air come out, saw it. It's there. You can watch it. Doc, what do you think of the second shooter business?
I am not knowledgeable enough to know what one would hear and see from the incident that, you know, I saw a little bit of TV like everybody else did. I'm not that intelligent enough in dealing with shooting and ammunition to know whether or not there was one or two. What I do know was that the local police and the security folks definitely failed the president. I don't care what the president was.
Mm-hmm.
The fact is, your responsibility was to protect the president, and those in charge significantly failed. And then they failed a second time to protect him. That you let him get up and stand up and ball up his fist.
They never should have done that.
You know that once he got hit, we should have never seen him again. He should have been swiftly brought away. That I do know because I have had death threats. Once the person who was targeted is hit, you do everything you do to safeguard them.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm saying security did not safeguard the president when he got up. You let him put his shoes on. You let him stand up. You let him ball up his fist. No, you should have escorted him away to protect him.
Well, I agree wholeheartedly, and we will not be finished with this because this is going to be ongoing as well. And I've got to call Linda Felder. I told her I was going to give her a call, and we're going to go over. We're going to segue into something a little bit more positive, and that is what she's doing in Baltimore City.
Not as controversial.
I hope not. Okay, let's go. I'm calling Linda Felder, House of Etiquette, Felder House of Etiquette, and longtime friend, and wanting to get her on this show. And finally, I believe we got Linda Felder on the line. Hello, Linda.
Yes, how are you, Sean?
I'm great. You got Doc Cheatham's on the line with us.
Linda, it is an honor to share these airways with you. So I'm going to sit down, shut up, and be quiet, and learn something from you today.
Well, we have,
so good to hear from you.
We just got finished talking about the assassination business with the former president, and now we're segueing into something more positive, the positivity of the Linda Felder House of Etiquette. And she's been at this for quite a while, and we've known each other for quite a while. Linda, could you tell the folks exactly what you do?
Yes. Well, Linda Felder House of Etiquette been in existence since 2007, but I've been teaching children when I first started the business in 1991.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been grooming them and not even really realize what I was doing. I just knew that it was a certain way that they had to walk the runway, and the clothes that I created for them back then had to look appropriate for the stage. And so yeah, I had a trademark on that. And so my thing was to keep having fashion shows every year. We do like 4 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Winky had me put clothes in his fashion shows all the time. And I felt like as long as I kept putting the name out there, the name would grow. And that's what happened. Persistence and just steadfast. And then 2000, we did a fashion show at Baltimore Convention Center. It's the biggest I ever had. It was 800 people in the audience and 100 models.
Wow, that
and
sounds something.
Yeah, especially when you have to make 2 outfits for each model. So I'm working. But what grew from that was Linda Felder House of Etiquette. So we're doing practice. We'll practice for a whole year. And, you know, the parents, the older women were bringing their children with them. And so one of my team, they said, you know, Linda, let's bring the children in. I said, I'll tell you what, you bring them in. That's your responsibility, you know. Okay. So she had the little ones. And then while I'm making these clothes for them, and it's a scene that they had, I named it Angelic.
Mm-hmm.
So I made white outfits for them, white dresses, and they had wings. And to watch them come on that stage, I said, God, this is what you want me to do. Mm-hmm. My whole world changed.
Well, I've been to some of those shows, and I will say the clothing design, the way the young ladies conduct themselves, and being in just high esteem with Linda and what she does for these young ladies in Baltimore City. It is a 501c3 nonprofit organization.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And
yes, it is.
I can say, Doc, firsthand, because I've been to some of the shows, that the work that you do is great, and it's really wonderful to see such positiveness in Baltimore City, because we just keep hearing about the negative and the youth and the negative and stealing cars and on and on and on. And we do have to focus, and the Outsiders we're gonna make a concerted effort to focus on more positive aspects of Baltimore City, and with the youth as well. And what else? What projects do you have coming up, Linda?
So I before I go there, I have to just really say something.
Mm-hmm.
Teaching with Parks and Rec, so we partner with Parks and Rec in Cherry Hill and other different locations, Coldstream, Moore Crossman, wherever they'll have us. There's an organization that we partner with through the summer, and this is youth groups. So instead of them going to work, they're coming in and learning different skills. I had a classroom of 10 boys, and when I tell you they amazed me, They amazed me yesterday because first they were like, I don't want to learn how to sew. I was talking about my son Kareem, who runs the business. I said, he's running the business up there. He's making his own money. You may not want to run your business, but you need to know how to at least hem your pants, sew on a button, sew up a stitch, or if you have a child in the future. That way you could pass it down. So the boys amazed me when they were just learning the parts of the machine. And yesterday they were sewing, and they were just amazed. And I said, you know what, God, you're on the right path. So we're doing this fundraiser next Sunday, July the 28th. It's the fundraiser for the Felder House. We have a center. And the Mobile Learning Center is a bus that I turned into a classroom right before COVID in 2019, right before COVID hit. And as a matter of fact, when COVID hit, the buildings were closed. So a couple of people had grant money, but they had no building. So I did was I used the mobile to teach the children on for 18 weeks.
Wow.
Through that funding. For 18 weeks through that funding. And so right now what we're doing is to raise money to keep the mobile going, keep the wheels turning, to be able to go into different communities like Cherry Hill. We have the SB7, Westport, Cherry Hill, Brooklyn, Lakeland, Mount Winings, those areas, which I've taught at Lakeland before too, to be able to just do pop-up shops, and teach children how to hand sew, teach children table etiquette manners, how to conduct yourself in a restaurant, how to conduct yourself in a classroom or when you're on a school trip. That's a part of the etiquette course. And then we end it with an etiquette dinner where the parents are able to come and see what the children have learned and be a part of the experience. So I'm just going to say I'm happy about July 28th. I hope people could come out and support the, maybe you could put the information up or something.
Oh, definitely. We're going to put that up. July 28th, and where will that be in the time?
It'll be iconic, the old Hammerjacks.
Okay, iconic, old Hammerjacks.
And the ticket fee is $40. And we do also take sponsorship. A couple of people that can't come, I don't even say a couple. It's been 44 people that have donated because they see, what the Felder House does. And then a lot of them know their children have been affected by it. So they've donated even if they can't show up.
Wow, that's fantastic that's being done, because it's very important that the children, with the education system that we have now in Baltimore, which is subpar, and I'm being nice, to have someone like Linda Felder and others who are out there who are looking, and this is part of education, this is part of growing up, part of being an adult, a human being, because I know I got trained between my mother and my grandmother, oh my goodness, with the diction and sitting up straight and elbows not on the table, and and so on. It's very, very important that our young folks know how to behave and act in public and conduct themselves and dress and so on. And what time is that event on July 28th? What time is that going to be?
It's from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's a day party event. We have BTLR that's came on board to help support too. We have a couple other sponsors that's supporting, and we will be that day from the sponsors that supported the child. Every person will receive a ticket. So we're going to do the drawing right there and present whoever gets the ticket. They receive that 6-week training that's been sponsored by donors.
Oh, great. Doc, do you have any questions for Linda? Because I know this stuff is important to you.
The first thing I want to say is, Linda, thank you. God bless you for what you're doing. Please keep up the work that you're doing, because I first started dealing with business back in 1962. I was a fashion model at 12 years old.
Are you serious?
And I tell folks, just because you're into clothing and designing, don't mean that you're gay. I was voted best dressed in junior high school and high school. That was one because I love clothing, but I could also sew. And I'm saying, folks, and I'm saying to these men, folks, there's money to be made in clothes designing and making. And you don't have to be gay as a man to be involved with clothing. And Linda, I just thank you. I think I'll challenge y'all, and I'll end with this. We got 4 TV stations. Every Saturday, they show everything that's white in the state of Maryland. And I think what Linda's doing and how she's exposing our community to clothing and designing and all of that, I think we need to force these 4 TV stations to start airing what Linda and her people are doing, because I think our kids will do great in it.
I agree. We need to start turning up the heat, as you say, and I'll be getting in touch with them, the Outsiders, Doc, and myself, because this needs to be promoted very, very strongly throughout the city with the different media outlets that we have. Because again, I'll reiterate, just like I said, you have all the negativity with the youth that's being focused on in the news every day. And I tell you what, I came back from Las Vegas and I compared the news in Las Vegas compared to the news in Baltimore. It's night and day. The news, just the news itself. And Linda, both of us are saying it, Doc and I are saying that we want to motivate and we want to let people know, market, whatever we need to do, more about your organization, others like your organization.
We want to expose the great work that she is doing and has done.
Exactly. So that's what we definitely want to do that. And what other events other than July 28th? Do you have any other projects coming up?
Well, yes. As soon as we do this event, then we're going to work on, because right now the AC, and that's why I didn't do it last year, is because the AC, I can't have the children in with AC not working.
No.
So that's another reason why this fundraiser is very important in the funds. So then that we can get that problem fixed and buy the supplies, because the parents don't pay for anything when we do the pop-up shops. Just give donations, Big donations.
Well, Linda, it was great having you on. We're definitely going to have you back July 28th. We're going to put that on the Outsiders information and Facebook. So just send me your stuff. I think you've already sent me things, but send me your stuff. We're going to promote that and let people know about your event. And the Outsiders, of course, will be supporting it as well.
I appreciate you both. Thank you so much.
Excellent work. And if you haven't cloned yourself, think about it, because we need to keep doing what you're doing. I'm just loving it.
Well, I have assistants now. I've got assistants, so they go with me every time. So what I know, they know.
Great, fantastic. Linda, it was great hearing from you, and I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Okay, thank you so much, both of you.
Okay, take care.
Thank you. God bless you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Oh, was that exciting for me?
Yes.
Yeah, I modeled clothes for Mandolin back in 1962, from 62 to about 66. And folks were saying, "Oh, you must be gay or something." I said, "Man, ain't nothing gay about me."
Well, I did some modeling for Flair Studios, some summer wear, modeling back in the day when I was competing. But I understand what you're saying, Doc. There are other ways and avenues, because I got taught how to sew and how to crochet. I got taught that stuff, and my grandmother told me, I'm going to teach you how to clean your clothes and iron and wash your own clothes and do all that, because there's no woman going to take care of you. I'm 11 years old, she's telling me this. I'm like, really? I'm 11 years old and she's telling me this. And I understood it when I got older, because I'm a man who I can take care of myself. I can sew my own clothes if I need to, if I got a hole in something.
The class that I like next to Jim, the class that I like next was home economics. We had home economics when I was at Forest Park. I just loved that class because it was everything I didn't know. I didn't know how to bake. I didn't know how to cook. I did not know how to sew. And I learned all of that in home ec.
Yeah, I had home economics at home with my grandmother teaching me all that stuff.
What you mean?
Okay, I had in-home economics, but Linda Felder, House of Etiquette, July 28th, iconic, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Everybody who's hearing this, you can go ahead and you can look it up. Just simply Google the information as well. And Outsiders will have it on Facebook. And I want to.
Can I make one last parting comment?
Oh, sure, of course.
Folks, I want to say this, and I'm saying this out of love for our males. When we had afros back during the day, when Shab was very popular, the one thing that we guys did, we got our hair cut every 2 weeks religiously. Now, I don't particularly like the hairstyle that our kids are using now, especially the boys. But I'm saying, can't you wash your hair and at least get your edges cut? Because seeing this hair going down people's back, your hair got lint and everything in it. And I'm saying, I understand different styles, but folks, get your hair washed and your hair cut.
Yeah, hygiene is important. So you definitely want to have the hygiene. And I want to get into, since Doc's on a roll, let's keep this roll going. This underground tunnel business. What is going on with this underground? Yeah, what is going on with this? There are people who are talking about it. They're talking about the Fox 45 interviews. They didn't ask any permission, didn't warn anyone, nothing about going underground, preparing tunnels, or whatever the situation is. Of course, these knuckleheads, people just figure they can just do whatever they want. We don't have to tell the people anything. They're just poor black people. What do we have to tell them anything? We'll just do it. We'll just go underground. Let's just start digging it and not even tell them anything. Doc, what's going on with this situation?
Well, at least 2 years ago, we were notified by the federal government and by the state, not by the city, but for the most part, the federal government and the state, that a tunnel, it is being called the Frederick Douglass Tunnel. And why they pick Frederick Douglass, I don't know, and that's a whole nother subject matter. But we were informed at least 2 years ago that a Frederick Douglass Tunnel was going to come from the ice house on, what is that, U.S. Route 40 going west. It was going to come from that little area where the train station stops, and it was going to go all the way up to Drill Park. And then when they started advising us that it was coming through West Baltimore, I'm the biggest community density in the city of Baltimore. And I didn't say West Baltimore. I'm the biggest community density in the city of Baltimore. We had 36,000 people in Matthew Henson. Yes, Patapsco is very close. Patapsco has 35,000, but they are three different communities. Matthew Henson, we are only one community. We are the largest. And when they told us they're going to come through half of my community, I said, well, I got to start going to these monthly meetings and get educated. Well, about a month ago, we've been meeting with them on a regular basis. We hired a lawyer firm, the Community Law Center, to legally represent us, because I don't trust anybody that doesn't look like me. I don't trust half the people that do look like me. So you know damn well I ain't going to trust people who don't look like me. So we hired a lawyer firm, Community Law Center, and thank God we did, because we've had 3 meetings with them. And what happened 2 weeks ago, they started digging. Now, we know that they got to do soil checks and everything before they even start digging for a tunnel, but they started digging, and as the president of the largest community in Baltimore City, myself nor were any of the people on my board notified that this was taking place. Well, they were digging on Monroe Street. Monroe, for folks don't know it, is U.S. Route 1. U.S. Route 1. Monroe Street, that's what Monroe Street is. They started digging in the 1500 block. My neighbors were not intelligent enough to call me and tell me, but, I ride through my neighborhood every day, unless it's raining or snowing. And I'm seeing them digging, so I questioned them. And then a week later, they were in the 1600 block of McKean, digging again, and I'm talking about, it looked like oil drilling. That's how big the apparatus is. And I said, hell no, you're not going to come in my neighborhood and not tell me what you're doing, why you're doing it, and explain. So I contacted our lawyers. I contacted the Frederick Douglass Tunnel people. I contacted the U.S. Senator Van Hollen, Cardin, and Fume, and I told all of them, y'all better bring your asses to our damn meeting because somebody is digging in my community, and we have not been notified nor even asked could they come and what they were going to do. So this past Tuesday, Fume sent his representative. Dan Holland sent his representative. The Frederick Douglass Tunnel must have had about a dozen people there because I think that, in short, they wanted to say, we better shut this nigga up because he's exposing everything that we should not be doing. So they publicly apologized. We got it on 2 TV stations. They apologized and assured us that they will begin keeping us fully updated on what's going on. So, you know, we're going to work with them. But, you know, folks think that they can come into black neighborhoods and do whatever they want and then let the white folks do all the benefiting. Well, we want reparations from this tunnel, but we also want regular communication on what is happening day by day, week by week. Whenever something's happening, we expect to be told about it.
So they got caught with their britches down. That's the bottom line.
With their britches down and somebody standing in front of them, and I don't know what they were planning on doing, but you're not going to do this in this neighborhood.
Well, Doc, I mean, it's good to have people like yourself who actually care and will do something about it as opposed to just sitting around and so on. And what was the purpose of this digging anyway? Did they tell you what the purpose of all this was for?
Yeah, what they have to do, and it's similar to like oil drilling. You know, you got you first got to make a determination where you're going to drill, to what extent is this going to affect communities, because we have houses, most of our houses are 100 years old, at least. We have more row houses than any community in the city of Baltimore. So it directly affects so many of us that, you know, I think the first thing, I got to get better educated myself and then try to educate the residents of my neighborhood. So if I fall down, it doesn't stop us from continuing to look into what's happening. And I'm telling neighbors, you know, anytime Reservoir Hill, which was one of 3 communities that started housing discrimination in America. It was Reservoir Hill, Roland Park, and Mount Rule. They started housing discrimination. Anytime they are upset because the tunnel goes through their area as well, then it tells me, you know, I'm not going to just let these white folks in Reservoir Hill and these middle-class black folks be the only ones to get money because the federal government has to give you money when they come in and affect your community. So we're giving them 8 recommendations of things that we want financially to compensate us for this inconvenience that we will probably have for the next 5 years. They said it's going to probably take almost 10 years to build the tunnel.
Okay.
But they actually don't start digging for the tunnel until about 1.5 years, 2 years from now. But they had to do soil testing, and they were digging into my community and not even telling us about it.
But what's the tunnel for? What are they going to do with it? What is it for?
It's like an underground Amtrak. It's Amtrak's next.
Okay, so the Amtrak
is already here in the Baltimore area, but they're going to build another tunnel. It's going to be called the Frederick Douglass Tunnel. They're going to build this other tunnel that goes from the house that's on Frederick Avenue, Frederick and Route 40, and it's going to go all the way up to Drill Park. But it's all underground.
Okay.
It's all underground.
So they're preparing the way for this tunnel. They didn't tell anybody anything while they were doing this. And they got caught with their britches down because they figured, oh, we can just go in there. These black people are not going to do anything. We can just tunnel, do whatever. They're not going to call us out on this. You did. And then Van Hollen and Mfume and others decided to bring their reps. And now they're telling you, oh, we'll let you, we'll keep you up to date. Don't worry, Doc. We're sorry about that. We forgot all about it. We'll keep you up to date. We'll let you know what's going on with the tunnel, all points and purposes and situations. And we don't even worry. We'll keep you up to date. Is that pretty much how it went?
That's how it went. And Sean, I got paranoid today because they were just here on Tuesday. We had good TV coverage. We had good representation from the fellow folks. Of course, we did not see James Torrance. We didn't see yourself, Mr. Torrance, at this meeting. We definitely did not see the London State Senator, Antonio Hayes. I guess he had to come up with another lie why he didn't come to our community meeting. But today, I'm riding through my neighborhood, and on Baker Street, I see some digging taking place. I said, oh, Lord, I'm going to have a heart attack. But it was the gas and electric company doing some repairs to somebody's gas. I said, thank God, my blood pressure went back down.
So they're going to keep you up to date. I know you had Fox 45 in the interviews about this business with the tunnel, Amtrak, and digging, and they promise, Scouts honor, that they're going to keep you up to date.
Well, and Sean, I can't thank you enough because I know a lot of our folks with our pigmentation are not too pleased with Fox 45 because there is a lot of negativity in their reporting. But I would tell you this, I know of no incident that I have reached out to Fox 45 and they have not covered the events that we have had. I can't say that for 13, 11,
no,
and 2.
You can't say it.
But I can say that for the most part, Fox has basically covered any event that the largest community, yes, we are the largest density community in Baltimore City. When I call, I can honestly say that usually Jeff and somebody from Fox 45 come, and I can't ask for more. I'm just hoping that the other TV stations will understand. If I'm waving the red flag, it ain't because I'm a Republican. It ain't because I'm a Democrat. It's because I'm waving a red flag because I might be the next person that might go get me a gun like some of these white boys are doing. Let me go get me a gun and start testing it.
No, don't say that. He's just...
I take it back.
You're just painting a scenario that's just, is not going to happen. And that's the way people get frustrated. And I tell you what, people do get frustrated about things that are going on. And this situation, because I'm going to just touch on it again, because of the importance of it. Normally the Outsiders, we have a subject matter, we cover it, we roll on. But because of the importance of this, I have to say something. And this has to do with the very soul, or lack thereof, from what I'm seeing from human beings, from American citizens, and their behavior. I saw the texts, I saw the tweets where people were cheering, first of all, that somebody took shots at Trump. Then people were making statements, oh, well, a little bit more to the left or 5 centimeters to the right, he would have been on target. And they were gleeful at the fact that Trump almost got his brains blown out like Kennedy did, and the Zapruder film. And they were gleeful, and they were happy, and they weren't, and it sickens me. It's sick. It's twisted. It's demonic. It's sick. And everyone knows who I'm talking about. You know who you are. And if the same thing would have happened with Biden or with Clinton or with Obama or name any president, I'm not going to feel that way because that's sick. That's demonic. I want the president of the United States to be protected, as he should, or former president, not where someone's running for office and you're having someone trying to kill them, and you have American citizens being gleeful about it. People, you need to look at yourself because that's sick.
Sean, I can't agree with you more than I could ever agree with you on that issue. And I know folks who know me, yes, I am a civil rights activist, for more than 50 years, but you will not come and talk to me about cheering or being glad that anyone gets shot, especially someone running for political office. I don't care whether they're Democrat, Republican, Green Party.
Exactly.
I am not supporting stuff like that. And so folks know you're not going to come talk to Doc Cheatham about anything negative, whether I have a dislike for Trump or I have a love for Trump. You're not going to come and talk to me and have any kind of conversation about politics and folks attempting to kill each other. That's not a conversation I'm going to enjoy having, and I'm not going to have with you. As I said, I'm strongly asking that the head of the security guard, whatever they call Secret Service, be removed. Then I don't know whether she's Democrat, Republican. I do know she's probably white, but I do know this. She needs to be fired, and many of those people that work with her should be fired because your job was to protect the president. I don't care who it was, who she was, or whatever it is. It's the president of the United States. They need to be protected, and you failed in protecting the president.
You failed miserably. As a matter of fact, here's the thing. She failed so bad. The failure was so catastrophic that people, and these are Democrats now, not just Republicans or Libertarians or Green Party or Independents. People are speculating. As American citizens, you have a right to have your own thoughts, and they're speculating that this was a setup, this was planned, because it was done so bad, because the protection was so bad, because there were so many anomalies, that now you have citizens who are sitting back and saying, wait a second, was this a setup? Was the Secret Service, was the president, was his wife, FLOTUS and SCOTUS, were they involved? Were they that desperate they couldn't get Trump in prison? They couldn't get the DOJ, they couldn't get him this, that, and the other, they couldn't get the impeachment, they couldn't get the... Have they gone this far that now they're trying to kill them? These are questions that American citizens are asking, and the reason they're asking is because the protection was so bad. It was so bad.
I look at it this way, Sean, that it troubles me to such a degree because I lived as a young child during the period of time when Medgar Evers got shot and killed, when Malcolm X got shot and killed, when Martin Luther King got shot and killed, when Bobby Kennedy got shot and killed. I lived during that period as an older teenager. So, you know, I lived through it and I know how people feel and felt during that period of time. And this is a time that we need to come together as people, regardless of the race, ethnicity, or whatever. Wrong is wrong no matter who does it.
Exactly.
But I do know this. I have not heard of serious enough investigation of the mother and father of the guy who did the shooting. Yes, there may be multiple shooters, but I do know this. This has been 5 days. Why have we not heard more information about the mother and father? Because I think they should be in jail. Their son is dead, and God rest his soul for that. But the mother and father need to be thoroughly investigated, and anyone around this kid that did shooting, because there may have been multiple shooters. All I do know is I have not heard enough about the investigation of the mother and father. And they did say that they were calling the police trying to find out where the boy was. So they must have known something.
Well, there should be, and I'm sure it's going on now, but there should be a thorough investigation of, I mean, they showed him when he was graduating high school. They showed him in a commercial he did for BlackRock. He was in a commercial. They had to pull a commercial, okay, because he was in the commercial. I saw the commercial. And they pulled it, and it was for BlackRock. And then...
What's BlackRock? Forget my ignorance. What's BlackRock?
It's some type of agency that was, because there's a BlackRock and there's a BlackRock. There's some type of agency that was helping people, a company or agency utilize education and helping people with education and so on, something to that degree. But I didn't get time because it's so much information. People, you have no idea how much information I've gone over since I've gotten back from Las Vegas. So I kind of glanced at it, saw the commercial real quick, and kept moving on. But they did remove the commercial. He was in a commercial. Who did he get hook up with during that time when he was in high school? They said he was coming to school, not high school or college, community college, in camouflage every day, camouflage. Who did he hook up with? Who pulled him in? Who recruited him possibly? They're talking about Antifa, so on. This stuff needs to be looked at and analyzed through a microscope of who did he hook up with? Who was he attached to? Who taught him how to shoot? You have to learn how to shoot. I got taught how to shoot at a range. So who taught him how to shoot? Who were his affiliates? All this stuff they're looking up.
I think you and I are saying almost some of the same things, but coming from different directions. There is questionably why we have not gotten more media attention to the mother and the father, what this boy has done in his first 20 years, what has he been connected with. I'm saying it's no accident that we're not hearing more about this. I would say this, and yes, I'm going to play the race card right now. If this was a black kid, we would know every damn thing about him and the family than we ever thought we could find. And I'm saying because it's a white kid, we're not doing an investigation. And I said wrong is wrong no matter who it affects. Black, white, brown, green, yellow. And I'm saying there's not been thorough investigation and thorough giving out of information as to what the background of the mother and father was. What kind of organization, what kind of school club was he in? We have not heard any of this stuff. And it's not accidental because that was a black kid. We've been inundated with information.
Well, I'll tell you what, there is some type of weird dichotomy going on, because on the one hand, they're saying he's a Republican, and then on the other hand, they turn around and say, but he's donated to the Democrat, to Biden. So you're kind of going, okay, well, he was registered as a Republican, but he's donating to Biden and his campaign. Okay, so what are the nuances here? And the head of the Secret Service agent and the Secret Service agents not securing that roof, which is supposed to be done, that's 101 security, period. This looks really bad, and there's going to be more information coming out on all of this. The outsiders are going to be keeping their eye on all of this, and I want to give out Linda Felder, the Felder House. I want to give out her website. It's www.felder, Felder, house, House, Inc., INC, felderhouseinc.com. I want to give that out, and another shout out for Linda Felder and the good work that she's doing, and the outsiders will be keeping an eye on this assassination business. Iranians are being pulled in.
You know you might be starting something, because then it's going to be asked by me, when are we going to investigate J. Edgar Hoover and the FBI? Why isn't that name taken down off of the FBI? This man hated black people.
That's another subject matter that we can spin in. You can do the investigating on that one.
Let's open up Pandora's box.
What did J. Edgar Hoover say? Violence must be met with violence. Anyway, that's a quote from J. Edgar. But okay, everyone, take care. And the outsiders.
Great show.
Yeah, I thought it was a good one. The outsiders will be back next week. Our show is going to be on Wednesdays now, so the show will be moved to Wednesdays, the middle of the week, the peak of the week, hump day, for reasons Doc and I discussed, but we're going to be moving the show to Wednesday. So anyway, I want everyone to take care, be safe, stay cool, and God bless. Take care. Goodbye, Doc.
Goodbye.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. All out of bubblegum.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth.